about maybe raising a pup to become a guide dog. They're looking for puppy raisers. The challenge would be to raise a pup up to a certain age, and great reward, obviously, for seeing a pup develop in your own home. And additionally, puppy raisers and temporary boarders get the satisfaction of knowing that they have played a role in providing guide and assistance dogs that enable people who are vision impaired or families of a child with autism to enjoy the same freedom and independence as everyone else, or as close as they can anyhow. And it's a chance to learn some new dog training skills as well if you already have a dog, and I would imagine that it might be preferential if you do. Well, now I'm joined by two people with plenty of experience, Annie Gallagher and Leslie Newberry. You're both welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. And let's say hello to the two dogs as well. Annie, yours is?
Sally.
Yes, Sally is a
6-month-old black lab. Now that I spoke, she looked up at me. She's here beside me. She's licking away at her licky mat. Hopefully she'll behave herself.
Well, hopefully. Fingers crossed, but sure, They don't. And Leslie, yours is?
I have Nutmeg.
Yes.
Nutmeg is 11 months old. And she's doing very well. She's got a lovely dog treat there, so hopefully it'll keep her nice and quiet.
Oh, yeah.
Nutmeg's a bit of a communicator, so she likes people to know she's around.
Okay, very excellent. Well, as you say, I'm happy there at the minute with the doggy treat.
Absolutely.
So hopefully that'll sorry, her, is it?
Her.
Or
Yes.
it'll keep her distracted. Leslie, both these dogs now will be handed back after a certain time. Is that how it works?
They will, yeah. We're guide dog puppy raisers. So we basically foster the puppies from around 9 weeks of age until around 14 months. So we do a little bit of training, but I would say we're more socialisers. So what guide dogs look for us, the dogs live in our home. They're with us 24 hours a day, and we go through sort of a protocol, and the pups live with us. We take them out, we socialise them. Everywhere we go, the pups go, so that when they go down to Cork, there's nothing that's strange or new to them. So into shops, dentists, hairdressers, bus, train. Pups sometimes go on a flight as well. So everything. So they have a well-rounded, reasonably well-behaved pup ready to start.
So the idea would be to bring this growing dog with you as many places as possible.
Absolutely, yeah. The more places that we can get them out, the more socialised they are.
Okay.
Obviously, we have to remember that they are puppies. They're no different to any other puppy. So when we get them at 9 weeks, they come their complete blank canvas. And we have to do everything that anybody would do normally with a puppy. We toilet train them, we feed them certain ways. They go through all the normal phases that all the other puppies go through, of the chewing and the barking and the zoomies and everything else.
Yes.
But so it is a bit of a commitment, but it's great fun. And it's we have a wonderful team in Donegal.
We do.
Not just the puppy raisers. We have our volunteers, our fundraisers, our temporary boarders. So important to me as a puppy raiser. I have grandchildren over in England. I like to get away, so the temporary boarders would look after my pup while I'm away. And it means they go through a certain amount of training, and they keep the pups in the same routine and the same boundaries as we would do. So it's great, and it's good for the pups. It makes them a little bit more adaptable.
Because when you have a dog, it's a bit of a worry then when you have to go off on holidays, especially if they're spoiled. You're thinking, do I have to put this dog in now to kennels for like the week that I'm going to be away, and how will it be treated, and will it be socialised when it's there? Will it get enough exercise? But Annie, it seems like there's a good community here, a good supportive community when you're raising these dogs.
There really is. Like the temporary boarders, all you got to do is send them a wee text and say, "Are you free this date to this date?"
Yeah.
And they'll say yes, and then you give them all the stuff, maybe a wee list of what the dog's routine is like, and they follow it. So it means then there's no break, and the dog isn't confused when it comes back to you. They don't go into kennels; they stay with the person in the home the whole time. But no, there's a great support, and Leslie always says they're never born guide dogs. They're born a puppy and they're moulded into a guide dog. So you are told and guided what to do.
Okay.
The support is great.
But as Leslie was saying there, really it's your job just to raise them as you would any dog that you want to raise properly, mind you. There'll be, I'm sure there's a few outlines, but by and large, it's not your job to train them as guide dogs. It's just your job to raise them up to be a fairly well-behaved doggy.
Well-behaved dog that'll listen to the commands and is trainable, you know, and that wants to listen and is happy to do things.
Yeah.
And if you give them a good grounding, those first 6 months, isn't it, Leslie, are very important. And if you just treat them well, it'll work out for them then.
Right.
It does.
And Leslie, do you have to have? Is it preferential that you already have a dog to take?
Not
one of these?
necessarily. Not necessarily. I think the guidelines say that we can have up to 2 pets in the house. Another dog can be an advantage for a small pup because invariably they show them the way to go and teach them a few manners and things like that. But it's not essential. If you don't have another dog, that's not an issue.
What about a cat?
Cat, I have cats, I have hens, I have geese, I have pigs, you name it, and they're great for the dogs. Because on the training, that's all part and parcel of creating this rounded, socialised dog. We can't have a guide dog running after cats.
Yeah.
You know, we can't have a guide dog running after pigeons or whatever in the street. So it's little wee things that we concentrate on just to have that social, rounded pup to hand to the trainers, and they do a fantastic job down there. Absolutely, they dot the I's, cross the T's, introduce the dogs to the harnesses.
This is down in Cork.
Down in Cork, absolutely wonderful. We're a little bit away from there, but I have to say the support that we get from Irish Guide Dogs is phenomenal. We have a supervisor, Killian, who is amazing, and he's always on the phone checking up. We have Zoom puppy classes. He comes up to Donegal to check on us and the pups.
Wow. And
does a bit of training with us in and around Letterkenny or wherever we are. And then we have the puppy manager, Shireen, who is, again, very, very supportive.
And there's a big demand for these dogs.
Oh, the waiting list is extraordinary, especially with the assistance dogs as well. You know, when you think of it, these, as Annie rightly said, you know, these are just pups. And we train them a certain way and raise them a certain way. But it can take up to 2 years to train one dog.
Right.
You know, so it's a huge investment in time and energy and money from Irish Guide Dogs as well, you know.
And Annie, the assistance dogs are different, are they, to guide dogs? Are they there more for comfort?
Assistance dogs will go to families that have a child with autism, and it can be used to comfort the child and to use it away so that the child doesn't bolt, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes families might never have been able to, let's say, visit Santa before or go to family events, but when they have the assistance dog, it gives an extra support and comfort, and the child feels reassured, and they're able to go and do
calming
things.
effect.
Yeah.
Brilliant, great idea. And for somebody listening in, they're thinking, especially somebody maybe who wouldn't have had a dog, that sounds like a lot of effort and hard work. Now there is that with raising any pup.
Absolutely, it's no different from raising any other pup. You say, you know, we have great support, as I say, from Irish Guide Dogs, from and each other. The other puppy raisers round about as well are fantastic support. But it is a bit of a commitment, but it's such good fun. And it's so good for us, you know. It's changed. I've been doing it now for 14 years nearly, you know, and I've met so many wonderful people. We've great friendships within the branch now, and everywhere you go, people talk to you.
Yeah.
People stop and talk to you. So it's a great social thing. Getting out for a walk. Annie and I were in Ards Friary this morning. Beautiful sunny day, out getting out for a walk. You know, so
you know, there's an unofficial dog park here in Letterkenny, and it's great for the dogs because they get to socialise, but it's great for the owners as well, because then automatically you're going to chat to the owners. If the dogs are getting on great, then you want to let them run around together and you stand and chat. So it is socially.
But the other thing about puppy raising as well is, you know, these pups have to adapt to their new lives as either an assistance dog or as a guide dog. So puppy raising fits in very much to most people's lives. You know, I work part-time, so that's not an issue. When the pups are of a certain age and a little bit bigger, Nutmeg comes to work with me. So it's all part of the training, because that's what their life may be like once they're qualified, you know. Okay. So if you work a couple of days a week, it's not a problem. If you work from home, it's not a problem. You know, it can fit in.
Solutions will be found.
Solutions will be found. And it's
Must be hard to hand them over, you know, at 14 months.
I just handed one over about 4 weeks ago. I'm still not over. She was called Heather. I had her for a bit longer than the year because she was a bit immature. And I think about her all the time. Even the pup I have now, Sally, I call her Heather all the time by mistake. You never forget them. And Leslie's gone through it a lot more than I have, different pups. But still, I was driving down to Cork and dropping her off and thinking somebody else is going to see her every day. But just, you don't realise, like, the way that she would hopefully impact someone's life, you know, giving them the gift of independence or something, or you know, the way that it could change somebody's life. So I've got to keep telling myself that, you know, it's for a greater good, and I can't be selfish and hold on to her when that's what hopefully her life is supposed to be like.
Absolutely.
To help someone.
Absolutely. It is a great thing. And pups at guidedogs.ie if you want more information. At pups at guidedogs.ie, and there'll be plenty of help and support there should you decide to take one of these on board and raise them. Anyway, listen, it's that's a first for the show, having a couple of dogs in the studio. So thanks very much, and the best of luck with both Nutty and Sally.
Thank you.
Right.
John, thanks very much. We also have a wee Facebook page, if I don't mind me saying, just it's Donegal branch of Guide Dogs. So all the information, and you can follow the pups' progress, all the pups in Donegal. And if anybody wants any more information or wants to join the team, we're desperate to find some new puppy raisers, temp boarders, or even volunteers.
All right.
As much as an hour a week, or you can do the full whack. We'd love to have you on board.
For there's a day coming up in Glenveigh in May, is that right?
Yes.
May the 24th.
We're having our National Guide Dog Day, and on the Saturday, the 25th, will be the walk in Glenveigh. And more details will come, but it'll be from about 2 to 4. We'll have a nice walk with all the puppies, and everybody's welcome.
On the 25th.
25th is Saturday, and the 24th we're having different collections around Donegal.
Okay.
So you might see us in Super Value, different places and things like that, and come in and say hello and meet the pups.
Brilliant. Okay. Thank you both, Annie and Leslie. Appreciate it.
Thank
John,
you.
thanks very much. Thank you.